Welcome everyone to Platform on the Go. I am Sogon Afshar Javan. I'm an interior designer, lifestyle curator, and I established Platform here in South of Fifth in the southernmost part of Miami Beach, Florida in 2018. I am here today with my very, very special guest. I have known him for as long as he lives, and even before he lived, I've known him. And my guest is my amazing, awesome guest is Iman Huschmand, my lovely brother, my one and only brother. And welcome to Platform on the Go today.
Thank you. Love being here. Congratulations on this whole new setting for your podcast.
And who did that?
The Night Owls, yes.
So I am actually, I'm very nervous.
You're kidding me. You've always been such a natural.
Saying that, yes, I'm a natural without all these eyes looking at me.
I always get blamed for
eyes looking at me.
I always get blamed for the nervousness and the stress that you go through.
Yes,
it's my role as an annoying brother, you know.
And I feel like today is actually my first chance to challenge you.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
Are you ready for it?
I'm ready for it.
Every time you put me on the spot in front of all these cameras, you have no idea what I go through. So
let's see if I can crack under pressure.
Let's give it a shot.
Yeah.
And
great.
Well, first of all, I do thank you for doing all of this and for putting me on the spot all the time, and for getting me out of my comfort zone. And I feel like everyone in this world that is changing by the second. I feel like, everything is happening so fast in this world with the whole virtual everything, the AI, and everything in my industry and in my world, in Sogo's world, where I really believe in everything in person and working with all senses in person rather than having a screen between me and whoever is behind the scene, which that is my biggest problem. And you always make me do this on this side of the world, where to me it's two different worlds. But we all have to adapt to it. And actually last night I attended a beautiful opening for Leonardo da Vinci exhibit here in Miami, which is incredible. I feel like Miami is really growing into a more cultural city with more art, music, fashion, everything that I love in my world, everything lifestyle related. And this exhibit really inspired me so much. And obviously Leonardo da Vinci, going back hundreds of years back, and what he has done as an engineer, as a visionary, as a creative, as an artist, and the elements that we are now in this world, even in this shifting world, are using. And so hopefully you will get a chance to go and see this exhibit. My lovely friend Josephine, she put this whole beautiful exhibit together, and I got to meet the curator, who is the son of the person who actually had the vision of this traveling art for Leonardo da Vinci. So I'm telling you all of this because what I have here at Platform as an interior designer, I'm searching for everything creative that I can feature under this roof and share it with my loved ones and with my community. So you are obviously one of the most biggest loved one that I have, and you and mom and dad, and, so you all made sure that Platform goes on after COVID, because I closed down during COVID, obviously. And so now we are here and we're trying to support each other and support others who are in the creative world. And today you're here as my guest, so I'm supposed to ask you questions.
Yeah, sure.
And so first of all, you have been a big lover of Washington, D.C. You were born in Germany, in Koblenz. You're my Schengelchen. For the Germans among us, they know what the little Schengelchen was in Koblenz. And So we immigrated to the US. You came to Orlando first, stayed with me for a few months, and then we all went to DC when I got married. And so you established your kingdom in Washington.
Mini kingdom, I'd say.
Well, Iman's kingdom, let's say. And because you are trying to conquer with all the businesses that you're doing. So you're running 3 legit businesses. And one of them or 2 of them actually are helping me and us to be here and make platform a sustainable location for.
Hopefully all 3 of them are helping, actually. They all play a role.
That's true. Yes, that's right. So tell me about your 3 businesses.
Well, I mean, I can start with my first love, which is exclusively entertainment. You know, starting as a DJ back when I was 16, 17 years old, it was a great way for me to meet other Iranians. That was always like a void in my life, not having Iranians around and not being connected to the Persian culture and music and food and art.
You never lived in Iran.
Because I never lived in Iran.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a natural feeling that when you feel like you're missing something, that you're gonna keep on searching for it, whatever it may be. And in my case, you know, not having been born in Iran and only having been there one time for 2 weeks, 20 plus years ago, you know, it was like something that in parallel to whatever I was doing, there was always something that I wanted to do to meet other Iranians and figure out and learn more about our history, our culture, and just, you know, just being around your own people. I feel like it's a natural instinct as humans to kind of, in this vast world, as soon as you find somebody that's a little bit more similar to you and 8 billion people, you would hope that you have a certain deeper connection, you know, because you get to speak the language, you get to relate to some of the traditions and cultures. So there's like a common denominator that kind of just grabs you. And mine was through music. I realized at 16, 17 years old that, oh, wow, through DJing, I get to meet other Iranians. And I'm actually a big time introvert. A lot of people don't believe that or know that. But you're great at going into any event 5 times a week and, you know, meet people. You're a social butterfly. Yeah. But like, to me, that's like the discomfort that you have here. That is my discomfort. So I probably, which is not good that I don't face it enough, you know, but one of the reasons why I do the events is because obviously I want to have that human connection. Right. But for me, going to like networking events or going to big spaces where I don't know anybody and having to have awkward conversations and like loud space. Well, for me, they're awkward because like it's just not a natural conversation when it comes to, I feel like I ask the stupidest questions. I feel like I answer in the most stupidest way. And I'm like, God, why did I just say that? So it's just very awkward experience. So how could I combat that? I realized at 17 years old, well, why don't you just host the coolest events in town and let people come, and then at least people will know you, so you kind of break that ice, so you don't have to like explain who you are and what you do and all that stuff. So I kind of like skip a couple of steps.
And let me tell you, in Washington, D.C., where I lived for over 25 years, everyone, like, you know, whoever meets me, I'm like, I'm Iman's sister.
That's
Everyone knows who Iman is. So it was always an easy thing, like, who are you? What are you doing? I said, well, I'm just Iman's sister.
Yeah. So it was good to kind of like know a lot of people. And also more importantly, it was great to know that there was a community being built together, you know? And so I've been a huge proponent of building a community, because when you build a community, you can build great friendships. You can forge strong business relationships, you know, during good times and bad times. By having a community, there's always going to be that 1% of people that you just have a special connection with. And like, they are your diehard, ride or die kind of people, you know, the ones that are genuine people that, you know, will go above and beyond for you when you're in your darkest of days, you know. And I've experienced that myself. I've gone through my hardest of days, and I noticed all the great people that they came and they supported in every shape or way possible, you know. And so it's through that community building that those people build the trust in wanted to be there when I needed them the most. So it all started exclusively entertainment through DJing, and then in 2009 officially started exclusively entertainment. I decided that I don't want to just DJ. I never thought of myself as a great DJ. My cousin Jimon, who we started off with, I realized that he was better at DJing, so I got on the microphone, I started hosting. So even though I had the name DJ associated with my name for like many years, even many years, still to this day, some people call me DJ Iman.
I know.
But I never was.
Even tell me, how's your brother? Is he still DJing?
Yeah,
No, he stopped
exactly.
DJing 10 years
Exactly.
ago.
Exactly. I pretty much
Yeah.
stopped DJing like 20 years ago, but it's
Yeah.
just been attached, which I guess you can attribute it to good marketing. You know, it's just like
guess.
we promoted DJ Iman,
True.
du jour DJs Iman Huschmand so much. But I realized in 2009 that when I start an entertainment company, I want to bring on the best talent that I know, the best DJs, the best musicians. I want to provide the best lighting, the best visuals, the best production. And so I was like, I will serve a much better role to these events if I can be the producer of the events, if I can manage the company and continue to recruit the best talent, you know, and just handle the hospitality part instead of the DJing, because if I'm just DJing, I'm confined to that space. That's it. I'm behind the DJ booth and I'm not able to control the event and the caliber that I would like. So that's why, like, you know, from emceeing and hosting and just being in front of the camera, being on stage, that was just a natural growth of my role at Exclusive Entertainment. And then, you know, at Exclusive Entertainment, you know, we've done over 4,000 events, over 1,000 weddings, you know, a lot of private parties. We have 15 DJs.
Destination wedding.
Destination weddings.
I missed a few ones.
You missed a few. You joined a couple too.
Yeah.
And I wanted to take care of our clients a lot more. And I was like, you know what? I keep on referring our clients to other photographers and videographers, and like they weren't really reciprocating with recommending us to their clients. And I was like, and you know, because of that, I've always loved documenting. I was born and raised in a world where dad was filming with his 8mm camera. And so like, I just had this love for filming and documenting. And then at 16, 17 years old, I had the Sharp View Cam that I bought, and I was just having it up people's faces all throughout high school and college. And
Dorsa and parcels faces.
And Dorsa's parcels. Yeah. So I love the behind the scenes filming.
Yeah.
I love, again, I was never a good videographer. I can't even turn on a camera if you showed it to me right now. But excuse me, but I definitely enjoyed the documentation, you know, and I just knew that photos and videos are what people are going to look back in their life and be like, wow, like every time we see pictures and videos of loved ones, like that's important that we had that documentation, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I was like, okay, well, let's start providing photo and video services for our bride and grooms. And so Exclusive Entertainment became like this one-stop shop. But one of the business mistakes that I made was doing it, because when you become a one-stop shop, then people don't look at you anymore as an expert in that one particular field. So by doing so, it definitely impacted the business. And so I was like, you know what? I want Exclusive Entertainment to be known just for entertainment. We want to start a separate company. We called it Night Owls. So that's where the second business was born. Night Owls, the focus was just quality photo and video production for events, for weddings, so that we can, you know, document those special days. We are already doing over 100 weddings a year. It's a great way to recommend our sister company for us to, you know, provide great content. And then, you know, the
Thank you for Brandon for being here today.
Yeah.
Came all the way from DC these days to do a few productions that you're doing here now in Miami.
When I started Night Owls, he was right there from day one, where we, you know, what we're going through the logos, the branding, the name, what we're going to do. So he's been one of the major technical brains of this entire operation. And I'm appreciative of all the blood, sweat, and tears, and just dealing with somebody like me that he's endured. And, you know, we've come a long ways. And so another thing that we were doing at Exclusive Entertainment is we were doing a lot of these Iranian events. Mm-hmm. But when you're doing an Iranian concert, a Sogan concert, Sami Begi concert, Alabina concert, all this stuff was once again confusing our non-Iranian clients at Exclusive Entertainment. So in 2019, I also decided to start Unite and Conquer. Mm-hmm. And I was like, every Iranian related event, content, whatever, let's put it in this.
Falls under that.
Yeah. So Unite and Conquer was born with the mission to unite Iranians via impactful conversations, content, and events. So I was like, you know, it's all about compartmentalization. So like, okay, Night Owls, it's very clear what's his mission and vision. Exclusive Entertainment, it's very clear what's his mission and vision. And Unite and Conquer. So we went that path. And then 2020, the pandemic really just flipped everything upside down, because literally all the three organizations were contingent on events, weddings, photographing,
video platform.
Same thing with platform. Yeah, no. So that's why it was a very tough time for our entire family, because like literally, or even mom who was doing esthetician stuff and her spa, you know, you cannot be in close contact. So unfortunately, all of our businesses were deeply impacted. Like none of us
have a little garden, so mom was able to do facials in the
Yeah.
garden.
She was able to do a lot of stuff during the pandemic that even
Yeah.
we weren't able to do. So our hands were locked or tied, but we were able to kind of try different things, especially at Unite and Conquer. We did live streams. We did Zindagi, our music live streams, so at least our DJs can be out there and playing some music and entertaining people while they were at home.
Yeah, you did some weird things on virtually, which I thought, how is this going to work? You know, the whole Persian New Year's thing, you know, the 24-hour live stream. I mean, you're definitely, so coming from the artist end, you're definitely an artist yourself. You know, we're just two different artists in our own ways. And this is what I'm seeing like every day. I feel like, you know, how similar we are, but not.
100%.
And because you're a creative, you're a visionary in your industry. And I was, you know, doing certain things in my ways. And now I feel like, you know, we kind of did it side by side, but we never realized it until we all came under this roof, a platform. And it's just ironic how, you know, the name and the mission goes hand in hand with our entire family too. And it starts from there.
Well, I think it's because growing up, our parents, they hosted a lot of events. You know, I remember so many mixed.
You missed the first 10 years.
I know. I'm sure they were very lavish and very cool, you know.
Amazing events.
I mean, just one look at watching the wedding video for mom and dad, you know, you can tell what gracious hosts that they were and amazing parties that they were throwing. It's so great that we have that video footage from almost 60 years ago. Not too many people have video footage of their parents' weddings. And it's straight out of a movie. Like every time I watch that minute and 30-second video, it's a beautiful thing to watch.
Hollywood movie.
Yeah, no, it really looked Hollywood style. And so
let me jump in there because I may forget. But talking about that, you know, I was 9 when I left Iran, but I remember every birthday I had, it was a production for our parents. And seriously, like, and I remember they had what is it called? The Persian was famous shop was it was a theater. It was a traveling theater, moving dolls. So we had that. Like my mom, like, you know, our parents, they actually produced that inside our house, you know, and we had, God knows, like 200 guests at my birthday. And the whole setup was there, you know, it was a theater and very engaging. Plus, you know, my mom was collecting dolls, you know, dolls from different countries, and she was gifted by, you know, kings and the royalties of countries. And then growing up, I started having my own dog collection too. And so this Hushmand, which was a doll theater, was I mean, I loved it. I still remember it. I mean, even though I was probably like 6, 7, 8 years old, I don't remember, but all of that is part of my life, and I cannot forget. And I'm very thankful for them to give me this experience. And then your life in Germany was a different experience.
Yeah.
I mean, just like.
But I mean, I just remember still so many gatherings. I remember getting together for like Kegel night, like bowling nights in Germany, and like. And you know they were organizing Nowruz events. I mean, in Koblenz, Nowruz event, like 1985, a boat party with Persians celebrating Nowruz. Like I remember that. I remember the goodie bags. You know, I remember all this stuff. So that's the world that I like.
And that is 50th. That is surprise party on a boat that mom organized. Yeah, incredible.
Yeah, so that's kind of like, so we were kind of, you know, born into that culture of like bringing people together, having, you know, fun events and connecting and all that good stuff. So that's kind of like how everything, you know, was just kind of building. And then that kind of all came to a halt when the pandemic hit. But I was like, I still got to figure out how to connect people. And like, you know, it was through the virtual world that we were able to do it. So
you actually started it with my own birthday, my 50th birthday. I was supposed to, we did a virtual.
Oh, yes. I did the virtual Zoom. Yeah, in the garden.
Virtual. So I think I was one of the first, you know, Zoom birthdays ever in March.
Yeah, because it was March 2020.
30, yes, March 2020. And that's right. It was supposed to be a birthday party gathering in New Orleans.
Yeah.
We had everything prepared, but then we canceled like 2 weeks prior.
Yeah.
And then we ended up doing this. You said, let's just do something virtual.
Oh,
We're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So I had a whole setup in the garden, and you did it.
Yeah, and so we decided to leverage especially Brandon's expertise in the technical world and the world of podcasting and live streaming. And we had a lot of failures. We had one big live stream that we had promoted, and all of a sudden 30 minutes into it crashed. So like there was like a lot of disappointing moments, but we had a lot of great live streams. The 24-hour live stream, the 12-hour live stream.
Celebration of love and love.
That is celebration of love. Yeah, of course. That was amazing that during that time where we didn't have that many friends and family in Miami, but many who wanted to pay respects to that, or many that lived in Iran or outside the country that could not travel, they were able to tune in and be a part of that special moment. And it was great. I mean, like, people want to be there to pay their respects, to show love, to show support, and just feel like they were a part of that, And so those are the things that, I really appreciated learning and experiencing. And I was like, man, the world of production, the skies are the limit. The world needs it. We need
even
to connect.
In my industry, your team has been at my project sites for before and after and during processes, and it's amazing. I have done a lot of virtual interior design work too.
Yeah.
Where I was here, the clients were in a different state, and Dorsa, project managing it, and sometimes she was gonna. She was with the client, sometimes she wasn't. She was at a different location working on her projects. So it's amazing how this new virtual world and the power of technology and cameras and all of that really helps everyone with what we are doing.
I mean, also just the documentation of the process. People love to see the creation of something, like whatever you can think of, there's somebody that wants to learn how it's done, whether it's tacos, whether it's buildings, whether it's interior design.
Yeah.
People want to know the process because there's always somebody that wants to learn how to do that. And so they want to kind of like tune in, or maybe they're just entertained by it, Well,
I have to say it's a very overwhelming thing. It's, I always think, okay, all the things that I have done, if I had a camera on hand or even an iPhone, I would have taken videos of that process. But even to date, to me, it's just too much. Like, why am I supposed to do this? But sometimes I feel like, okay, maybe that's why. But
well, look at it this way. So when you say, why do I have to do this? First of all, you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
But the problem is that if you don't do it, you're going to lose out on an opportunity for your community to know what you're doing, so they can then go and tell other people, or even themselves come to you for their project. It's no different than.
But that's why we do our Barefoot in the Garden events.
But that's different. But I'm talking about like your project. So like your work. Yeah, Barefoot in the Garden is an event for you to have, people come together. But I'm saying, like, yes, it's too much work to document what you're doing at an interior design project. You cannot do it. But it's also like 50 years ago, if you had a product, the way that you could sell it without internet is what? You have to have a store. You have to have a retail store. And then you could either put it in the most corner of the mall, or you can be in the best location.
Yeah.
So it's all about eyeballs, and it's all about other people like feeling and seeing what it is that you're doing, so they can like support your business. So it's annoying, it's expensive, it's whatever, but it's also much better than spending $10,000-$15,000 on a retail spot. So those people who are now working virtually and they're just sitting at home on a laptop and they have a business, then they instead have to use some kind of budget to market themselves. So people have to market it by having brick and mortar, or now they can spend, instead of that $10,000-$15,000 on utilities and X, Y, and Z, they can put it towards creating content. And you can do it yourself.
The nomad entrepreneurs, they're traveling the world, enjoying different parts of the world at the same time. They're doing their career while showcasing what needs to be showcased.
Yeah, I mean, a digital nomad. I mean, it's becoming a very liberating and prosperous way to live and work.
You can help a few here at Platform.
Sure.
Your production. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for digital nomads who need the personal in-person network here in Miami, where they can find it here with our network, and globally with your services, for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, so over here, one thing that you've created that allows people to kind of come meet other people is Barefoot in the Garden. And that's been super fun. I'm looking forward to the next one that we have on February 19th.
19th, yeah.
And you know what I appreciate about what you're doing is like you're creating something that really the people need. Like there's plenty of big events, there's plenty of regular run-of-the-mill type of events, you know, but the vibe that you've created here at Platform, especially our magical garden, and then the experience that you curate, not even create, but curate, because it really is tailored to that particular event. It leaves people always wowed, you know. And
I think this time mommy is going to make horse taqime.
Oh yeah, is that what's on the menu?
That's what's on
there
the
we
menu.
go.
Yeah.
Got some potato fries that are gonna be great. Yeah, I mean it's cool. I'm looking forward to Barefoot in the Garden. The first one that we did in September was amazing. It was enjoyable. It was fun. People definitely had a great time. And I think that the world is shifting towards these type of more intimate events like that.
We need a balance, I feel like, you know, we need a total balance right now. Otherwise, it's going to get too overwhelming and people are just going to be behind the screens. And, you know, that's not a good, healthy lifestyle. I feel like, you know, we live in a world where we still need the interaction, the human interaction. I mean, at the end, we are humans. We're not just puppets. I mean, we may be puppets.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's our natural being, you know, is that we weren't created to be behind screens, you know, so You're right. Like, I mean, figuring out, and it really has an impact on people's mental health. There are so many people that
I was just going to say
3 years ago were so happy that there's this virtual, I don't have to go to the office anymore. I don't have to go meet people. And then all of a sudden, wow, look at that.
Excuse me.
So that's kind of crazy that I actually put my phone on mute. Wait, it's even on Do Not Disturb. I swear to God, it's on Do Not Disturb.
Who's calling you?
It's Pedram, actually.
Oh.
So
you may want to take that call, no?
No, it's okay. But that's strange how it's on Do Not Disturb and it's ringing. So basically going to the human touch is an important thing, because now the same people that were saying, hell yeah, I don't have to go to work, like in person,
they're missing.
They're like, I don't want to be at home all day anymore.
I know.
You know, we have one of my friends, Varta, she just had a child. She's in Chicago and she's helping us out at Night Owls as one of our social media manager.
Nice.
She's like, Iman, I need connections. I need to meet people. I need to like discuss people. I just can't keep on I love my child. I love my husband, but I can't just be in here and not communicating. And so people are yearning for this. And the next level version of it is something like Barefoot in the Garden, you know, like, and I feel like everybody should try to host some type of event that brings 5, 10, 15 people. It could be at your home, but, you know, hosting a little gathering, some good wine, good conversations.
Yeah.
Hosting
is not easy, but, I grew up with a lot of hosting around me. And then when I got married, same thing. And I always loved to host. And here at Platform, I still love to do it, but it's a lot of work. Yeah. It's definitely not easy, but it's satisfying when you see people coming together. And even for myself, it's a good feeling.
Well, I think the key is that you got to find certain people that want to support it in their own way. You know, like you are supporting this forging of relationships and just creation of a good time by investing your space, your talents in creating it, your time, your food, the expenses of the food and drinks. And then everybody else has to play their role as well. So if you want to be a part of that and if you're appreciating that, then contribute financially. You know, like there should be a ticket sale. You buy tickets, you support the event, and then you reap all the benefits of it too. So
growing a community is not easy.
Yeah, it's honest. It's teamwork. I mean, like imagine back in the day, thousands of years ago, when you're in a village, there's somebody going out that's doing the hunting. Mm-hmm. There's somebody that's doing the gathering. There's somebody that's cleaning up the cave. You know, and at a certain
we do it all at the same.
Yeah, and at a certain point, like if you are not contributing, if all you're doing is sleeping all day, the village is gonna be like, excuse me. You know, that's why they say it takes a village, you know, because it does take a village. So I think the village has transformed into the word community. Mm-hmm. And essentially, if you really just kind of break it down and look at it as more as a village, is that everybody has a role. And we are producers. Mm-hmm. You're a producer of an event. And then there's a consumer. Yes. So the producer has roles. They have the roles and responsibility of creating a safe environment, a fun environment, good food, good drinks, good vibes. A lot of the details, the planning, the preparation.
Bring the right guests into the picture.
Exactly. The curation of the guest list. Like, again, the environment is created by who you have around. You know, we just at Unite and Conquer, we did our Salamati event at Prima, you know. the way that you market an event, it attracts a certain group of people, and I hope you will agree that, it was such a great, a like-minded group of people, First of all, the common denominator, again, was Iranians or friends of Iranians who wanted to also come out. But it was Iranians who, young professionals, a little bit older crowd too, but all there, good vibes, good music, good drinks, good conversations, but they all like mesh very well, because the way that we marketed and the way that we spoke to the audience, and they came. You do the same thing, you literally hand select people to kind of join, and then they come and they enjoy it, and then they keep on spreading the word to other people, and it kind of like just evolves into a monthly event, which is what we're working on at Barefoot.
So what was the third business?
The third one was Unite and Conquer. So
exclusively entertainment,
and then Night Owls, and then Unite and Conquer. And basically at Night Owls, during the pandemic, when we were like, shoot, there's no more events and weddings to cover.
Right.
That's when we're like, okay, well, what can we do? And I realized that, yes, a lot of people are out of work. A lot of businesses have been shut down. A lot of businesses are just unstable. But I was like, there are a lot of businesses that are making a lot of money because they're just in the right place at the right time. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, we have photographers, we have videographers, we have directors, we have producers, we have graphic designers, we have video editors. How can we now utilize them and shift our focus to those entrepreneurs? Mm-hmm. And I used you as a guinea pig because I was like, well, Sogo, this is a perfect time. We are completely jobless right now.
Yeah.
Let's at least
get you busy.
Yeah. I was like, let's figure out how to do it. And again, I credit Brandon for this. He's a phenomenal storyteller when it comes to producing the content, so the combination of me having certain ideas and me having the right people that we want to tell their story, and him being able to translate that vision into like visual, and audio, like, a good story, a good film. Your phone is also not on Do Not Disturb.
Swear to God.
What a shame. I'm telling you, Apple is having some issues today.
It's on, what is it called?
Vibrate?
No.
Silent?
No, the other one.
Do Not Disturb.
Airplane mode.
Yeah. And so anyway, so we were like, okay, well, Sogo is a great person. She's right here. Obviously, we're in a pandemic, so we couldn't really interact with too many people.
Yeah.
But we came up with this concept of brand story film because I felt that authenticity is important, and the best way to be authentic is to be able to tell the truest form of somebody's story. If you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, you in your heart of hearts feel like you can provide something of value to the world with your ideas and your vision and your dreams. That's usually what a business owner does, an entrepreneur. Like they're creating a product that they believe that the world could benefit from. Okay, so in your situation,
product or service.
In your case, you love interior design, and I was very curious to know, like, where did this all stem from? Where is this love coming from? And that's where the brand therapy component comes into play. It's like, so
it's very annoying.
I know, exactly. So we did a couple of those because we really wanted to annoy you.
Yeah.
And so, we just kind of dug deep. And so like figure out like, what is it about Sogo's like desire to want to have interior design clients and transform their spaces, and how important is Miami to her? How important is nature to her? How important is it to utilize all the senses, and how interior design is not just selecting items of colors or furniture. It's so much more. It's about the person, And so once we had a few more conversations with you, then we're like, okay, so we have a storyboard for you. What do you think about the story? And then we created the script together, And then again, with Brandon having a directorial background and expertise, we just storyboarded it, and then visualized it. And then we executed it. And the end result was a film that still puts me into tears when I watch it, because I think it's because it's you, but I do believe that it's also just a great film. And, in the last couple of years, especially the past year, I was like, you know what? It's time for us to really bring on some other actual clients, and we can help tell their story, and we can even take over their social media, because it goes hand in hand, like it's not just creating the content, it's also figuring out how we can maximize this content and amplify it to the person's community. And then it's just building a community in general for our clients.
In the brand story film, I think, once you did it for me and I realized what it is actually, and I feel like every person, it's not even every entrepreneur. It's everyone should have one of these brand story films. And to me, it was, at age 50. So it's a very special age. It's a milestone. And so I feel that this is something that it's my legacy kind of, it's really nice. It's very special. And
it's something you can pass on to, like, imagine your children, your grandchildren, 50 years, 100 years, 200 years from now, they're going to be able to see that video and be like, wow, like that's where my lineage is from.
And for our age group, looking at these black and white photos, I still love them. And at one point, I want to take one of these walls and do black and white photos of family, like, create this family tree that Daddy always, was talking about. And he started creating a family tree too. So like writing, I'm not sure, how far he went with that, but we're going to make it.
And when I was in Guatemala for a wedding and I brought mom and dad, I took my camera and I did a whole documentary with them, like 6 to 8 hours of them. Yeah, we have like 8 hours worth of film.
Okay.
And it's all about starting with both mom and dad talking about their great grandparents and then their grandparents and then their parents, where they were born. Yeah.
Okay, well,
nice to meet you. I'm your brother. How are you? Yeah, but it needs to be really fine-tuned and edited, but it's a very cool thing. Like, we did it like in a 3-4 day period.
I would love
We'll do another hangout where we can watch that.
See, again, that's like a digital version, but I want to do something where I take the entire wall and I draw like a tree and create a whole family tree for us, and it would be interesting. Maybe inspire other people to do the same, because what I do here at Platform is really paying attention to the little details in my own lifestyle, and then sharing it with my community. And this is a place where people can get inspired, and then they may become my interior design clients, or however that works. But yeah.
And something else that we did that I really appreciate, and I will always cherish, is the Hushmand episode.
Yeah.
And it's something that
I'm sitting here in Daddy's seat, right?
Wow, you really are, actually.
Yes, he's giving me the power.
And I'm sitting in your chair.
And Mommy is sitting across from me right now as we speak. So her beautiful face and aura is keeping me more calm right now, because how I get nervous.
It's not the gin.
It's only 11 o'clock. Oh, it was. But you definitely took it from Mom. She's a incredible public speaker, having with her background and officiating wedding officiating. It's so beautiful watching her and seeing how the whole process, it just comes so natural on her end. Same thing with you.
It's natural, but she also puts a lot of work into it. Like, I actually really appreciate the diligence that she put.
Studies a lot.
Yeah, she prepares. I mean, like, a lot. And you know what? The best people.
It's not a typical officiating that she does.
The best people, they make it look easy, but because they put in the effort and the hard work ahead of time. And so she does it for that. Even for a couple of weeks ago when she opened up her second location at Figueroa.
I know.
I mean,
amazing.
She gave like a 20-minute speech with like 0 errors,
Without even reading off of anything.
Yeah, it was natural. And so like it was because she prepared. Like, I actually remember walking into her house that morning and I could see her walking around and practicing out loud. I was like, were you practicing? And she's like, how did you know? I was like, because I could tell she was like in speaking mode.
Well, she was always practicing with Daddy, when he was there, he would always, listen to her. So it's beautiful. Yeah. So definitely, it's an interesting transition, different, life is beautiful.
Yeah. And all we want to do is capture it, like, I feel like, you said you're definitely an artist. I appreciate you thinking that I'm an artist, but I actually have this mindset that every human being is an artist. And some people, unfortunately, they never have the opportunity to really showcase that artistry, but it's all in them.
That is exactly what I tell my clients, because a lot of times my clients, they tell me, they're in different industries, right? Obviously, it would be interesting actually to be a designer for an interior designer, which I may at some point consider.
Wow.
Because, when you're so busy with other projects, you kind of neglect your own projects. Like when I did our house back in Maryland, for I think a good 2 years, our windows were naked.
Yeah.
And
But there's a Persian
we
saying, "Kase kusegaro falan bisad." What is that?
yeah, Kuzagaras Kosa Shikasta
Yeah.
So I mean that there is also a
English version?
yeah, of course.
There is?
The cobbler's what is it?
Brandon, what's the saying? Like basically like when you are like an interior designer, like your own house is like you don't give it enough TLC.
The cobbler's kids have
Someone was telling me that
broken shoes or
like whilst they could drink show empty or cause which is
Yeah, it's not like
exactly. We all, I mean, in every culture there is
Yeah.
a saying. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure in every single culture because it's a truth. Because we get whoever is passionate about what they're doing, they put a lot of time and energy and love into it.
Mhm.
So as one person, you're very limited to all that energy at the same time.
Yeah.
And imagine when you're working on so many different projects, and every project is a different style, different vision, different everything, right? And then when it comes to your own home, like, I'm always happy when I'm home and I just can't relax because interior design is really not selecting pieces for clients, elements for clients. It's also communicating with them. And especially if there is two people that you are working with, it's a lot of psychologists
Yeah.
talking to people. And at the end of the night, you're really exhausted. You don't realize it, even though it's fun. Like, I love interior design. I love everything art and design related, but it is exhausting. It's not a like physical exhaustion is one thing, but mental exhaustion is another
True.
thing. And it really drains you, but drains you in a good way. I'm not saying it in a bad way, but at the same time, so we were talking about, I lost my thread, but I was saying that we have, I forgot what it was. What was I saying? Help me. You forgot to.
Well, I mean, you were just talking about the experience of interior design and clients and connecting and in person, and I don't know where you're going.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. But anyway, so my question for you, in your shift and change coming to Miami, right? Because you were a complete DC lover and you never loved to live in Miami. You loved coming here, and at some point we worked on a project here, so we were here quite often. But how different is Miami for you today, and how different is DC for you?
Well, I think
Also, I want to say that, a lot of people, they think now that you're here, you don't work in DC anymore. So I want to make sure that people do know that,
we are definitely in DC.
yes, and you're actually going back
on Tuesday.
on Tuesday for
Yeah.
cool events too.
Well, so I was in, middle school, high school, college, grad school, all DC office. So 30 years in DC. I felt like I was a diehard Washingtonian. I really did not see myself living anywhere else. I just felt like this is home, and I couldn't imagine home being anywhere else. And I think one of the reasons was the nature of my work. So Exclusive A Entertainment is an entertainment company that it's all based on who you know and your past clients. And like, I couldn't
Prefer.
Exclusive, like nobody outside of DC area would know Exclusive A Entertainment. And so that makes it very hard to just pick up and go somewhere else.
Right.
Some businesses, same like a makeup artist or a realtor. Like if you
Or
are
interior designer. I mean, I used to live there and I had my projects in DC, but now I live here, but I still have projects in California, in DC,
Yeah.
in Florida. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but like the nature of mine is that, we had the warehouse, we had all these employees and like equipment, like it just in general, like really starting an entertainment company or growing it really is very tasking, or taxing. It takes many, many years, lots of events, lots of handshaking, a lot of successful events, and it just takes a lot of money. And it's very, 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 very difficult. And so in like 2019, or actually January 2020, when we had just moved mom and dad down, and you were like, well, come on, Nigga, like everybody's here now. And like, first of all, I was frustrated. I was like, damn, the whole family is down in Miami. I'm over here. I can't do shit about it. Like, I cannot just stop because
Finally did it.
Yeah, and that was when I had my annoying moment, and I was like, so good. The only way that I can move down there is if the world comes to a complete stop.
And you called it.
Yeah, and then 2 months later, unfortunately, apparently I was responsible for COVID. I apologize for that. But that's literally like when literally our company was shut down. Like, businesses, they go through recessions, they go through a lot of global economic geopolitical issues. So many things can happen that definitely can impact any business. And a company like Exclusive Entertainment is not immune to that. But never in our wildest dreams did we think something like the pandemic could happen. I mean, as far as I know, my entire life, there was never a discussion of there's a possibility of a global pandemic, So it wasn't something that anybody was prepared for. And our industry was one of the hardest hit.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that was happening, I was like, okay, well, I have a choice to sit through in DC through an unknown period of time where this lockdown was coming. I was thinking like Armageddon. I was thinking that we're not going to find food and drinks in the grocery stores. I was like, do I really want to be in this house alone during that crap?
That was your concern?
Yes. I was like, I love Chevy Chase, but if there's like zombies,
is not there.
If Moby Dick is not here, and there's zombies coming around, like I want to throw my sister in front so the zombies can take her. So I was like, okay, well, hey, there's a lot worse places than Miami to have to go down to be with family. So coming here, it had pros and cons. The pros were the family was here, so that was like great that we got to be together. It really was a great privilege that we had that we should never take for granted. A lot of people were very far from their loved ones, and so like that is something that really gave us great. It just gave us a lot of hope and all that good stuff. But the bad part was that I had to figure out what to do, like work-wise, and so there was a lot of challenges there. But shortly, months after, we did whatever we could to try to make this happen.
Night Owls and Unite and Conquer.
Yeah, Night Owls got really active. Unite and Conquer was really active.
They're actually Miamians.
They're pretty much Miamians. Yeah, born in DC, but raised in Miami. And like it's hard not to love a city like Miami. Like I mean, the weather, the nature.
Always
the
growing.
The vibe of the people, like it's going through an amazing renaissance. Like, our family has had a toe and a foot. You had a lot more in Miami, but we had a presence in Miami the last 15, 20 years. But for me, it was just every couple of times a year.
For fun.
Yeah, it came for fun.
For work.
Exactly, yeah, for sure. I mean, I looked at Miami as a vacation spot, It was a great time. Always, again, we used to come in the 90s and 2000s, and Miami had its growth spurts there. And then like right before the pandemic, it was actually kind of declining. If you think about it, like Miami wasn't really the best place between 2015.
I was so disappointed. I'm like, this is not the same Miami I always wanted to live in. For 20 years, I was dreaming of living here. And then this thing happened.
Like COVID really revitalized Miami and really made Florida stand out as a state that believed in freedom, being able to give people more their own innate rights to just kind of like live and work freely, without too much government interference and stuff. And that comment in it by itself might piss off some people, but I'm definitely pro freedom.
Freedom is always good.
Yeah, exactly.
But no politics.
Yeah, and so
in the art world, the politics doesn't really matter.
Exactly. And so for me, like it just seemed like Miami is really a place that I would love to continue to live in. And so even as Exclusive Entertainment got back up and running in DC and Night Owls got up and running, we were able to shift the business in a way where I can run it virtually, and just had a nice team over there that can run it. So right now, we're looking forward to having one of the biggest years at Exclusive Entertainment, doing hopefully more than 150, 200 events. We have amazing entertainers, DJ Kia, DJ Mod, DJ Yazdan, 10 other DJs that I could name, and musicians. We have a great customer service team. We love taking care of our clients. I pride ourselves in how quickly we reply to them, how helpful that our team is, how passionate, how loving, how caring, and how professional that our team is.
Are you still on Wedding Wire?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We have over 500 5-star reviews on Wedding Wire, The Knot, Yelp, Google.
What is the most what's the next wedding, like destination wedding?
Actually,
location? Do you have
we're going to Cabo end of March. Yeah, it's my good friend Ida and
that's
Kamin. So that's going to be in Cabo, and we're doing Exclusive Entertainment is doing the entertainment. So I'm hosting, Kia's DJing,
Nice.
and Night Owls are doing the photography, the videography. So it's that's what I love about.
Nothing in Italy coming up?
No, we had
I cannot join you.
we had a couple of weddings there 2 years ago on back-to-back weekends. So Kia was there for 2 weeks.
Yes, I missed that one.
Yeah, and so no, I mean it's beautiful. Like, and it's an honor when couples because it's not cheap to fly people out, you know, and like the flights, the hotel, the baggage, and so it's a great privilege to be invited outside of DC or Miami. And and like I said, we love to travel and we love to make people happy on the dance floor.
Wonderful.
And in this case, capturing those special moments and documenting it and giving them videos that they can look back on for many, many years.
Great. So you started with the music industry, and but you never played an instrument.
I played them. I just played them horribly, you know. And so,
why did you give up?
Lack of patience, I think, is one of them. I don't like to be told what to do all the time, and I just felt like I never had good teachers that were patient and would just, I don't know, it was just too much like this. I remember like we had this Russian piano teacher that in Germany that like it just was not pleasant. But in reality, one of the major things is that I lose interest very quickly. And it's not a good thing, but
what about singing? Because you're good on stage. Talking.
Yeah, talking is totally different from singing. I think that I would be doing people a great service by not singing. I probably have overstepped my boundaries by singing too much over the mic. Sometimes when I'm just so excited.
In the shower?
Of course.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
Like a soprano. And it's like, you know how like if you watch like certain videos and it's like, you know, filter and no filter. Like in the shower, I sound amazing, but I'm sure if somebody's recording the actual voice, it's just nothing that anybody should hear.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I think at one point, if I'm lucky enough to live long enough and life kind of like chills, I could see myself getting a really cool teacher to do some kind of piano or guitar.
Well, we have a piano sitting here in platform. Yeah. Actually, I just had a guest coming in on Saturday and a couple of days ago. And whoever comes here and whoever plays the piano and they walk by the piano without even asking, which I love about that, you know, they just open the piano and then they start playing. And I just love it. And they say, is it okay? Once they're playing, is it okay? I said, absolutely, it's okay. You know, I love it when the tunes come out of this piano and actually it needs to be tuned.
Yeah.
I need to remind Crystal about it because she has a friend.
Oh, cool. I think you should also put a sign that says "Play me."
I don't even need the sign. People will play it anyway. We may need a sign on that one extra door that we have, the closet.
Yeah.
That I'm not the exit door.
That's right.
But yeah, definitely. I mean, I used to play the piano. I think Mom and Dad started me off. I mean, I don't want to blame them because it was a great thing that they did, but I think I was way too young. It was their dream for me to play the piano, I think. So I didn't even know what a piano was.
Yeah.
And I regret that because, you know, they started me off in Iran with a beautiful white Yamaha piano and great teachers too, and piano instructors. One of them, Dr. Khadiri, and we had a couple other ones. I mean, it was so amazing to have that. But I lost interest in Germany because my high school friends, they made fun of me playing the piano. I mean, I think one of the first furniture pieces that Daddy got while he was preparing our apartment before Mom and we actually moved to Germany was
me too,
a beautiful, were you there yet? I don't know. You were probably.
Well, actually, yeah, Mom was pregnant.
You were born, yeah, exactly. So,
but I was still there.
And it was, you were in the picture somehow. But, and it was an antique piano, a beautiful one too. And I loved playing it. But then when my friends came over and they saw me playing, especially on my birthdays, you know, I started playing and they would definitely make fun of me. I mean,
you probably sucked.
Peer pressure. No, I was actually pretty good. I was playing Furelise and, you know.
We have the...
Kleiderman.
We have literally the only two songs that you know. Yeah. And Hawaii Tale.
Italian.
But we
We
have
should
that.
definitely start again together.
Can I sit on your lap just like we have that one video clip?
Yes, I know.
We should reenact
Maybe I
that.
should sit
We should reenact that video.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, but definitely sitting by side by side and playing the
Yeah, side by side is probably better.
it's probably better. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's definitely music is very important. I kept some of Daddy's
Records.
records and they're beautiful. I mean, I every once in a while I listen to them. He would actually come here, sit here, and I would play some of his records that he had back in Iran, in Tehran, in our house. And these are records he purchased as a student in Germany. He would travel a lot to the Czech Republic, Czechoslovakia back then, Russia. And, these are very special vinyl records that we have here. I wish I had all of them, but I'm grateful that we have some of them, which are stamped with his name,
Please.
with his name without an S. And so, yeah, I mean, music, culture, it all is important. All of that is important for our lives, and cultivating that is very important.
Yeah, sure.
What's your next plan here at Platform?
The next plan is that we're trying to make this a good production home for a handful of individuals, entrepreneurs, business owners, brands. We want to create. Well, we want to
New project.
Like I love this. I love producing podcasts. I feel like this is something.
I actually was thinking, okay, for Platform on the Go, I usually, have a conversation with people in my industry.
Yeah.
But then I realized you are definitely an artist, so you're on point here for sure.
Well, thank you. No, I mean, listen, it's great. It's great for any podcast host, because it helps build a better connection with the people that follow your content or are interested in learning more about you. And then hopefully they see interest and value in the guests that you bring in. And so we love to help build the brand of the host, and so the producing of a podcast nowadays is really the best way for an entrepreneur, business owner to build a community, to build a better connection that's filled with authenticity and knowledge.
Which is important. Authenticity is really the way to go.
Yeah, and like you kind of break through.
What is the process? Let's say a client comes to you, and what are the stages?
The first one is what we call brand therapy. So we really
the most annoying one.
Well, hopefully it's not annoying because
it's like layers of questions and.
But I think what I've realized is that when we have these brand therapy sessions, a lot of times the entrepreneurs themselves, something clicks in them in that conversation. Like there are some realizations that they have.
That's very true. Yes.
Yeah, like they're like, oh my God, I actually didn't realize that influenced me and that influenced me. At the end of the day, it comes back to what inspired you, what influenced you. Who are the people that guided you, that mentored you? Who are you doing this for? Why are you doing this for? And so in that brand therapy session, that's really what we're trying to get down to, because
it's a circle of life.
Yeah.
And yeah, absolutely.
And then you kind of like, you build a story around that, So like if you think of like your favorite movies of all time, like there's a storyline. It's a storyline that kind of like captures your attention really from the first few minutes. A great film, you can tell how great a film is pretty much in the first 1 to 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That introduction can really grasp you right in the beginning.
Has an impact, yeah.
And then it just, there's like a hero in every story. And so, and then there's like the resolution. And so there's that whole timeline. And so when we're listening to the entrepreneur and we're figuring out like what has motivated them, inspired them, what type of trials and tribulations have they had, what has been their fuel, what has been fueling them, what's the fire in their fuel. A lot of people are doing it to prove something to the rest of the world too, like they've gone through immense hurt, they've gone through pain, but they feel like, that I like to call it making your mess your message. Like that's one of my favorite things is that, you've kind of taken what has happened in your past.
Do you think that derives from that?
No, I don't know actually.
Well, I'm a linguist. I should look into it myself.
And so we kind of have that one session because if we're going to help out with not just the storytelling, but, we're marketers. At the end of the day, we're trying to help that entrepreneur business to sell that product and that service, And so,
is there a better word for selling, maybe? Because I don't really like that.
I mean,
selling.
it depends on what it is that you're actually quote unquote selling, but like a lot of times it's like you're helping,
Yeah.
So as an interior designer, you're not selling your interior design services, you're helping them with their design solutions, as night owls, we're helping them in building their brand. We're helping them in building the community. I keep on using them interchangeably because I don't believe that you can build a brand without building a community, and I don't think you can build a community without building a brand,
Right.
And so in today's day and age, the number one way to build a community is by having authentic conversation and creating authentic content that moves you, that inspires you, that entertains you, that educates you. So as long as, and what better way to do that than through deep conversations, deep, long conversations. And for some people, when I don't feel like sitting through an hour or two podcast, no problem. Out of 100 people, maybe 90 people don't watch from start to finish. But what we do is we chop them up and we distribute this content in short form, like on TikTok, 30 seconds, on Instagram, 90 seconds. And then we also have the long form on YouTube. So if somebody does actually see the 30-second clips that we put, like 10, 15 of these little clips, then they want to see a 10-minute clip that we have also that talks about one component of our conversation. And then they watch that, they're like, this is actually interesting. Now let me watch the full hour or 2-hour conversation. So it's all about giving people little breadcrumbs, and hopefully those breadcrumbs are, again, of value. And then if it is of value, then you start having loyal followers that they want more of what it is that you're talking about on the platform, on the Go podcast, or our other clients that, we have like Gemix, who they have this really unique skincare product that is health backed, or
I'm using it.
You are using it. I need to use it for sure. I need to. It's very important actually that I use it. The only reason why I haven't yet is because I want to make sure that I film the first time that I use it so I can document my process, because I know that the product will work because Lampa proved it. Yeah. And then also there's that part of it. And then I can share it because I want to proudly stand by the product and the service and the brand of that individual. Like we're rooting for our clients. Like it's very important. If I don't believe that a certain client is aligned with our mission and our values, in the sense that if I feel like they're not working with integrity, if I feel like they don't have a reason for why they're doing what they're doing, and it's a good reason, it's like an inspirational reason where I'm like, man, I'm a fan of yours, then I can help tell your story. Then our team gets behind it.
I travel to Europe and visit all these factories, furniture factories, lighting factories, accessories. And, when I see these artisans, unique people, who are still, they know these handmade, the craft.
Yeah.
That's what fascinates me. And then I can actually relay this message to my own clients, where I actually saw these people working on a piece of furniture. I know how much love and time is behind it.
Yeah.
And then can also justify, even the price of this chair. If the chair is a $10,000 chair, there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
Because it's not just mass produced. It's only really one or two artisans who really have the talent of this craft. And so that's what makes it so important for me to travel.
Yeah. And because first of all, here you're gathering knowledge of the people that you're now representing, right? Because when you go to a client now and you're saying, I see that piece here, you're now representing that brand and saying all the things why. Be like, this is what sets this piece apart. And then, so you're basically selling it to that client, but it's coming from a genuine place and from a place of professionalism where you work with the highest caliber quality products and businesses, and it's your job to go ahead and deliver and amplify that message to the client. And then so the clients then will choose, because they trust you as an expert, because they don't have time to fly to Italy and go to Europe and all these trade shows. So they're choosing you.
Going forward, I will take my clients
with the right clients. Yes, of course, with the right. I mean, you've done it many times in many ways where you take your clients to different shows or whatever, and they appreciate that. And the right type of clients will continue to do that. And I think the best way for you to continue to represent those brands that you trust, that you value, that believe in their craftsmanship is by having them here, talking to them,
exactly,
and letting them share their story. Like imagine, there's going to be some people that they're gonna say, yeah, my grandfather in Cuomo, they built this and whatever. And ever since then, it's passed up. Like those are the best freaking brands
Absolutely.
to like support, you know. And so
I
that's
have a few on my list.
yeah. So and then for platform on the go,
Yes.
which is why the name of platform on the go is that sometimes your podcast might have to go to Italy, and you're over there now, and you're telling the story of those brands, and then you have people that are watching and listening and seeing, and they're like, oh my god, I would love that kitchen light. Hey Sogo, I thought you talked about blah 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 company over there. Can you tell me more about it? I have this project going on, and boom, just like that, one conversation leads to another conversation, and so you're essentially selling. And you know, the world is really. I mean, it's all selling. I mean, selling and marketing.
Going back to history, you know, it's how tea came from India to other parts of the world. It's really, you know, it's a natural thing.
Yeah, because in order to survive, like we need access to a lot of things, and a lot of people have access to those things, and it takes money to get it. And so it's all about, again, what kind of value are you able to present to the marketplace, you know? And like, as long as you're selling something genuinely and you're doing it with integrity, then the right people will approach you, and the right people will pay top dollar because they understand that you and your team are delivering on top quality product and service.
Yeah, exactly. Coming from, again, the design.
I don't know what else to do with this this phone. If it's
the world is
it is on do not disturb. It is what it is. So yeah.
How do you get inspired for your work?
That's a good question. So first of all, I love the team that I have around, and I get inspired by the people around me. I get inspired when I see other people that are so committed to the work that we do, because it's insane how much work goes into everything that we do. So whether it's a wedding at Exclusive Entertainment, whether it's a brand story film and doing the monthly social media marketing and all that stuff for a client, or it's a Unite and Conquer event or a concert.
Why can't you and I just stick to one job?
Well, because
well, don't forget the question, but that's your second question.
I mean, I don't even know. Like, I feel like they all go hand in hand. I mean, it's just like
the problem.
It's
a good problem, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just like entertainment is my first love. It's the thing that I enjoyed doing ever since 16, 17 years old. It's what I owe to the friendships and the connections and the community that I've built. Night Owls was a natural progression because we got to document all the great stuff that we're doing the events with.
Yeah.
And then Unite and Conquer is like what I believe is my legacy project is like, I want to leave this world better than I received it. And I feel like as it relates to the Iranian community, especially the English-speaking Iranian community around the world, they really don't have a place to call home, a place where they can go meet other people that have gone down a very similar path and have dealt with a lot of the generational trauma. They have dealt with the immigration challenges. They've dealt with, not knowing the languages of the new culture, not being connected to their original homeland culture. And so for me, Unite and Conquer is something that I hope that all these amazing individuals that are right now helping to build it literally brick by brick, that in 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and once I'm gone, that there is a whole community that is saying, hey, we're going to continue the mission of Unite and Conquer. And as a result, our children, our grandchildren, and everybody that follows after will be very proud of what we've done as a community to make sure that we preserve all the important elements that our history and our people and our nationality has to offer. You know, there's a lot of great things that Iran and its history and its food and its music and its traditions and holidays we should be proud of, and we should be able to tell the rest of the world about. And unfortunately, because of the iron fist that it's been under for 45 years, those stories have not been told, you know. And so Unite and Conquer has a way to, at the very least, tell it to those who speak English, where they're not getting that information from anywhere else. So so what inspires me is like the opportunity for impact. What inspires me is the incredible people that we built, awesome relationships that are literally volunteering their time from all around the world, from Bulgaria to Australia to England to Toronto and LA, like we're all coming together and we are doing something that is for the collective good of our own people. And
It's beautiful.
I feel like right now, more than ever, especially what happened in the Women Life Freedom protests, like it's important that we are strengthening our community locally.
It's grow your community, the Persian community in Miami, a lot through this movement too.
Yeah. I mean, we for about 10 months straight, like me and the collective volunteers known as the Uniters, we did everything we could in our power to be the voice of our people. And unfortunately, the powers that be were just too powerful. And, we weren't able to break through and give our people the freedom that they deserve.
Time. My dream
Hopefully
is
in
to
time.
one day travel back to our beautiful country, Iran. And we are so rich in culture, architecture, music, food, hospitality, everything. Like really, it's a beautiful country, and it's a shame that we are not able to visit our own country as often as we want to.
Yeah.
And we do have certain limitations, and especially for people who live there. I mean, for us, we could probably just go there much easier.
Mm-hmm.
But for them to visit us here, I mean, we are trying to see our loved ones who are still living in Iran, in Turkey, or in Thailand, other places. But it's hopefully one day, like my dream is to take as many people as I know who love to see our country.
I just want to backpack Iran.
I would love to do that.
I backpacked Europe, and it was one of the best trips. I can only imagine that backpacking through Iran in a free Iran.
But you were lucky you went on a beautiful trip with Danny to Iran. So and that was my wish to one day, be able to go with him, for him to show me the places that he knows of. I mean, he was 70 when he left Iran, but still, he was coming back and forth. But it's he did have his secret places, and you got a nice tour.
I did
with him. So
I did it on behalf of you and Mom, because both of you have not been.
You both documented it so well.
Oh yeah,
and I'm so happy that you have that for us.
I have a good 10 hours of footage of our trip to Tehran and Shiraz and Isfahan.
Even though you were injured, you made it still happen.
Yeah, made it happen. No, I mean, that was definitely the best trip of my life, and it was the best memory that I have of that, and it was great, and I hope that we get to go.
What time was that trip with me and Daddy?
Yeah,
I think that trip was definitely one of the most special trips.
Yeah,
with him, with Mom, and with the entire family, with Kurush and the kids. So it was really
celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary.
That's right.
Yeah. And we have it all documented. See, like if we didn't have cameras,
that's true.
No photos, no videos.
So I do want to ask you one last question, if you don't have any questions for me, obviously. Yeah. But so again, with this whole new world that we are in, which is, it's every 50, 100 years, something new comes into the picture. And now we have the AI in our world. How do you feel about that? How does AI impact your line of work, working with videography, photography, and people's content creation and branding and all of that? I mean, me personally, I root for everything authentic, but it is a shift in the world, so I have to adapt to that too. And but how do you feel about that?
Well, I think that when it comes to technology, there's always there's pros and there's cons, and so I feel like we would be very naive to believe that only great things are going to come out of AI. I think that if humans don't navigate this new technological,
they don't take advantage of it.
Well, it's like
use it.
It's like, for example, by now everybody knows ChatGPT, and if you don't, it's like an incredible piece of technology. I mean, like the stuff that you can ask.
It's on WhatsApp now.
I think WhatsApp has it too. Yeah. But there's different the original ChatGPT, but there's other ways that you can. It's like a Google engine on steroids. Because
you think Google is going to go down?
Well, Google definitely needs to kind of upgrade its offering. But like now instead of Googling like where's like the nearest restaurant and you get all that stuff, now you can ask deeper questions that ChatGPT can curate in such detail within seconds. Like
I tried that in my industry too. It's quite
you get from that.
incredible.
Yeah, it's really incredible. And so there's those good parts. So I'll give you a perfect example in our industry. Like right now, this podcast episode, okay, we can literally give it to this one AI software, and with less than 5 minutes, okay, it will make stackable clips, multiple stackable, like it'll literally go through the entire transcript of our conversation and chop it up in chapters and give us 90-second clips of the entire conversation. Something that would cost our editors, our team, hundreds of dollars and many, many hours, first like just ideating and then actually editing and then going back and forth or whatever. It'll do that. In parallel, it will come up with a whole description of what you can put into YouTube and say, this is a conversation where so glad I had Iman Huschmand as a guest.
Can we do
they
that
talk
for
about
fun?
Yeah, no, for sure. Because I want you to see that in action. It's like absolutely incredible. And then it'll come up with a vlog, like a newsletter vlog. So when you want to send it out to your platform, email list,
wow,
it'll say, on the latest episode platform on the Platform to Go podcast, we talked about this and this and that. And then it will come up with like Twitter captions. It will come up with so many different things, all within a few minutes, right? So that's how it's advancing our line of work. And that also helps our clients because now we can offer a service to them at a fraction of the cost because our costs are now a lot less. So what would have cost us weeks and thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars to us, which there will be thousands for clients, now we can add more value for the clients. So those are like the good parts about AI. And over like time, AI is definitely going to make life a lot easier, which of course will lead to job loss.
Yes.
However,
replace
technology. Yeah, but technology has always led to job loss. But this is where it's important for everybody to learn skills that are invaluable. So right now, if for example you're worried that AI is going to take your job, learn about AI. So then you can work for a company and say, hey, I know the most about AI. So now I can come to your company and I can help you utilize AI to make your company stronger. So the people, if somebody is losing a certain job in whatever industry that it is, and they're just like feeling hopeless and like
they should not give up,
whatever, then that just means that you need to learn another skill set.
Yeah. Because
you are going to be left behind. Yes, that would suck. And then you can either just say, well, look at the damage that it's done. Or you can empower those people to read more books, to learn more things about whatever it is you're passionate about, to learn a skill set that makes you the top 10% in your field. So you're always going to be in demand. So the marketplace will always speak. If you're not good, if you're not providing good value, if you're not providing good service, if you're not providing good knowledge, then you're going to be left out. So will AI impact the workforce? Absolutely. Does it mean end of the world? Not necessarily.
Because someone still needs to provide AI with something, something that's of value and something that really makes sense for even AI to come up with their version.
Yeah. I think human beings will always figure out a way to adapt towards it. And I just feel like there needs to be some. So like one thing that's been really bad, and I'm really worried about it for this upcoming U.S. presidential election, is that you can make some really influential videos that are fake. You can have a Joe Biden video and a Donald Trump video where it looks as though they're talking. And in those videos, by the time it's flagged as like a fake, they've already reached millions of people and it has persuaded them one way or the other. So one thing that could definitely happen in this, and that's where the governments need to hopefully come in and create regulations that will prevent this type of fake type of videos to come up.
Well, that goes in my industry too, because I see on the AI beautiful settings of anything like furniture, lighting, accessories, rugs, but I just don't know if that's something that I can actually purchase.
Or you might think it's fake, yeah.
Yeah, and most of the time they are.
Well, yeah, I mean
that's scary because now I don't know. But again, that's when me actually traveling to see these factories where they're really made and seeing them in person. That's a whole different thing, and I think I still like that.
I think you should just continue doing what you're doing, which is focus on the real, focus on the in-person,
Yeah.
and just building those type of stuff, because the world needs more people like you that bring people together and that are like embracing this type of connection, you know?
For new generations,
Yeah.
it's that's important for them to know what the real world is.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
because I mean,
we're just going to something fake and faker and fakest.
yeah. Yeah, because
It's
people like us, we were born and raised in the world before the internet.
yeah,
The newer generation, if you're under 25 years old, like that's all you know. Like it's like you were born in this, so you can't even imagine a world where you're not glued to your phone, where you're not glued to your computer, and not everything at work and in personal life is all virtual, you know?
yeah.
So, and that's why I know there's going to, I feel like you are amongst the first people, a trailblazer of sorts, that is like really pushing this
I'm really
in person. Like there's a lot of obviously in-person events,
yeah,
but those in-person events are not necessarily doing it because they want to foster this. And this is events, like, it's like they have a different goal.
yeah.
Your specific goal at Barefoot in the Garden is specifically to counter.
But I do need more supporters because I'm
Yeah.
at this stage where
Yeah, no,
I
for
can't
sure.
do this anymore.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
it does need it. And I encourage everybody to step up that is, especially in South Florida, people that they agree that this kind of stuff is important. Just coming and just consuming it and enjoying it, but not actually supporting, is not going to help the growth of things like Barefoot in the Garden. And like, it's not just Barefoot in the Garden. A lot of things just need support, So anybody that's organizing events that are bringing together, and they need a core support group, So if things that Struggle is doing at Barefoot in the Garden here, a platform resonates, then you got to reach out to her. If other people are doing it, you should reach out to them. If you enjoy events, if you enjoy production, if you enjoy hosting, if you enjoy connecting with other people and you want to build your network, then here in Miami, what we're doing here at Platform, which you've created, is the number one way to kind of get in, meet new people, be creative, and kick ass.
Yeah. Where's your favorite place here in Miami?
I would say South Point Park.
Okay. Why?
So I wish I would take care of my health a lot more by going to the gym more and working out more
We
extremely.
need to do that again.
Yeah.
You and I work
But
together.
one thing that I
You're my neighbor, right?
too close of a neighbor. But one thing that I feel like I've done as consistently as I possibly could was these walks around South Point Park. And
To get on our bike.
yeah. Well, yeah, ever since mine got stolen, I've been jaded, and so I just do my walks. But, I just did it again this morning. Like, I try to do it 4 or 5, 6 times a week. And it's an opportunity for me to, like, unwind. It's my opportunity to just kind of think out loud. And just walking by the bay, walking at the park, seeing people with their dogs, seeing people, like, working out and just chilling and relaxing, or even having champagne at 10 o'clock in the morning, which annoys me because I'm like, man, I got to go to work.
Over in here.
Right, we're having gin. And just, just the water, just the ocean, walking by Fisher's Island, walking on the pier, just taking it all in, looking at South Point Beach, which is one of the most spectacular beaches that I've come across in my entire life. And then just literally strolling back home and just realizing that shit, I live in this paradise. I feel like that's why, that's my favorite place, and definitely love this neighborhood that you've been vouching for the longest time.
I'm happy to be here with you, with Mom, and the family. So it's wonderful.
Sophie by Sogi.
Sophie by Sogi. Sogi Sophie.
Yep.
Any questions for me?
No?
No, we're good.
No, thank you for the opportunity. Thanks for letting me be here and
Of course.
chit chat with you.
I feel like I didn't really challenge you too much enough the way you challenged me, but
it was good. You stood.
Good. Well, thank you for being here on Platform on the Go.
Thank you.
I look forward to everything we're doing in the future here, and meeting new people, new entrepreneurs.
Creating great content, creating great art, creating great events.
Yes, I'm very excited about it. Thank you so much.
Love you.
I love you more.
Ciao.
Ciao.